All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you all are having a great day. Now, of course, the circumstances of this one are a little bit unfortunate. I'm sure you've all heard Aaron Judge is being placed on the IL with a bruise/sprain of a ligament in his right toe. Now, of course, I'm no doctor. I don't know how any of this stuff works. Fortunately, Dr. Jesse Morse is with us to maybe shed some light on what's going on here. So we'll ask him a couple questions. Doctor, thank you for coming on.
My pleasure.
So my initial reaction when I see this, at first I was like, all right, it's not a bone breakage. This must be good news. But I guess this can still be somewhat serious. Is that what I'm kind of understanding?
Yeah, this is kind of an annoying injury. I'm a sports med and regenerative medicine specialist in Miami, and I fortunately see a lot of these, usually in NFL players. That's the most common location to get these. This is a so I'll step back and say that the big toe or great toe is the balance center for your foot. It's like your thumb for your hand. Like without it, you're kind of useless. The problem with it is the knuckle, the big part of the knuckle of the hand is this injury on the foot. So it's responsible for your balance on your foot. But whenever we walk or run, we kind of pull and curl our toes. Well, you can't do this when you have a sprain to this joint, what we call the MTP joint. So the MTP joint has a balloon around it called the capsule. And on the bottom of the balloon is usually where it gets injured. There's a ligament that attaches there. There is a what we call a plate or a big thick piece of uh, fascia that attaches there. Either of those can be injured. Sometimes they're all injured. If it's a grade one or a milder injury, usually they take about 3 weeks, believe it or not, even which is usually grade ones are easy, not turf toe grade ones. They're very frustrating. Grade twos are a little bit of a different story. They really start to partially tear that capsule. You can have even more damage to that ligament, and it gets ugly kind of fast. Even pros take 6 weeks, sometimes 8 weeks to kind of get back. Dr. Ahmad, who's the team doc for the Yankees, he put a PRP injection into likely into the different areas yesterday or the day before, which is a good sign. They've already started the healing process. I'm a little surprised they didn't use something stronger, or if they did, then they didn't comment on it. And sometimes that's just a political thing. I would have personally put stem cells in there because they have a lot more potency. They're about 3 times stronger than PRP. But nonetheless, this is more of a combination of healing that balloon or that capsule and then starting to get that range of motion back so that when he runs, he doesn't have to really favor it too much. He might also end up playing with a carbon fiber insert or some like something protective underneath his toe. That
Mhm.
some guys play with it, some guys don't like it.
Got you. So, assuming he comes back from this all right, is this still like, he gets healed, comes back in a month, let's say, whatever it is. Is this something that could affect him even when he's back, like long term, maybe? Or
They can. Usually we get these when we kind of jam our toe kind of like into the turf, or sometimes kind of like hyperextend the joint. That
Mhm.
usually is kind of when these happen. So he could trip over the bag. I mean, it doesn't really take a whole lot. It doesn't. The problem with this joint is that once it's injured, it doesn't take a whole lot to re-aggravate it.
Mhm.
Um, I would not be surprised if he makes it through the season and has surgery in the offseason. Would not surprise me at all. That happens a lot because you really have to structurally reestablish that area to really get that power and be able to rotate and pivot and kind of put energy into the ball like he needs to. And he can't do that if the toe hurts every time. Every time he does that, he's going to start compensating. He's going to start changing his stance, changing the way he throws. Like it's going to affect everything. It sounds silly, but it will. So I would not be surprised if it lingered too long. He addresses it in the offseason when he has the time to do that.
Gotcha. Okay. So, I tend to lean a little more towards the optimistic side of things, and a lot of people, on our fan base here. Best case scenario, if you could give us one, maybe he's back within a month. Like, are we saying like
Yeah,
best case three
I
weeks?
think 3 weeks. I think 3 weeks. There's a couple variables. What grade was it? And we don't really know.
Mm-hmm.
He's been kind of dealing with it with feels like a week or so. I don't know exactly how long it's been.
Yeah.
They were kind of dilly dallying deciding where not to put him on IL anyway. Um, So that kind of gives me an idea. It's probably more of a closer to grade one and the grade two.
Mm,
Grade two is like you're useless. You can't do anything.
yeah.
So that usually like they would have been like, yeah, he's going IL immediately. So that makes me think it's probably closer to a grade one. They sped up the healing process with PRP, but PRP is pro-inflammatory. It works by creating inflammation. So that takes about a week or two to really start subsiding, and it really doesn't fully kick in and feel really good secondary to PRP for about a month. I inject this stuff every day. So it's a good step in the right direction. They're probably going to shut them down for the next week or so, besides some rehab, and then they'll start ramping back up.
All right, man. I mean, it's crazy when best case scenario is 3 weeks, but I guess that's just what we got to do. Pretty nice catch though. Did you see it? The into the wall.
Yeah, I mean, he's continues to defy. A lot of people hate on him, but he's a stud. There's no question about it.
Yeah, he's insane. But hey, we'll get him back at some point. Doctor Morse, I really appreciate it, man. Thank you for coming on here. I know everybody watching this appreciates it because the Yankees don't always give too much insight, so it's nice to be able to get a voice in here like yours.
I
So
don't cover a whole lot of baseball injuries, even though baseball is my passion. I do. I own a company called the Fantasy Doctors. We primarily cover injuries for NFL, but I will dabble into some baseball as the need arises. But if you all have any questions or anything, my predominant use is for Twitter
cool. And what's your Twitter handle?
at Dr. Jesse Morse, DrJessEMorse.
Awesome, cool. We'll put all that stuff in the description. Once again, Dr. Morse, thank you so much, man. And hopefully we don't have to talk again, but maybe we will. So thank you,
Best
man.
of luck. I'm sure he'll be back and better than ever in no time.
Thank you.